everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is T and we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new review. Remember, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm gonna have a new interview, opinion piece, or some horror news for you to check out. But throughout the week, I am dropping countless reviews in the world of horror, whether it's movies, TV shows, books, games, whatever. And if you don't want to miss any of that, you got to get subscribed to my Linktree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T-Scary-Movie. If you get subscribed to my Linktree, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms for the audio-only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for my written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for my short horror content including movie news and movie premieres, to my Twitch page for all of my horror gaming, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy my 20% discount anything in the Fangoria shop, including a yearly subscription to the physical magazine. Take advantage of that, y'all. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything that I'm dropping for y'all, as the more followers I have, the more content I can put out for all of you. And don't forget, we are doing giveaways every month here. This month we're giving away a copy of A is for Alien, the Little Golden Book. And if you want a chance to win here on tonight's episode, what you gotta tell me in the comment section is, what are your current top 5 horror films of the year? So I'm curious, because the movie I'm talking tonight has definitely made its way up there. So let me know in the comment section here on YouTube, what are your top 5 horror films of the year for a chance to win a copy of A is for Alien, folks. So with that here, what are we discussing tonight? Yesterday, I got a chance to go check out a showing here for Zoe Kravitz's debut directorial film, and folks, it was a banger. I am so stoked about this one, and honestly, it's one that when I saw the trailer earlier this year, I really didn't have high hopes for it, so I am so happy to be caught off guard with a phenomenal film. Tonight, folks, we are going to be talking Blink Twice. Let's not waste any time here. Let's jump right on into things. If you haven't seen the trailer for Blink Twice before, this tells the story of 2 young women looking for their big break in life and happen by chance to end up in the crosshairs of tech mogul and millionaire Slater King. After accepting an invitation to go spend a vacation on his island with him and all of his friends, they find out that paradise isn't exactly as what they seemed when people start going missing and they start losing chunks of their memory. Folks, that is Blink Twice. Now, off the back here, this is a phenomenal directorial debut from Zoe Kravitz. You know, she originally came up with this idea and it was going to be called Pussy Island for the longest time. And the whole idea behind it was that using that title would allow her to really reclaim the word, give it the meaning back to it again, and stop kind of having it being used in the zeitgeist for a million other things. But then came the problem of it isn't that easy to market a film titled Pussy Island, and that there's going to be cold feet and so many other avenues that's not really going to work, and therefore it got changed to Blink Twice, which works perfectly because obviously if you've seen the trailer, there is a scene in there that kind of calls that out, and that's really the theme of the movie as it is. So Blink Twice actually works a bit better. But honestly, y'all, this is the kind of directing debut that people want to have, especially for somebody who's already been working in the space for so long, because there's going to be all this added pressure on them to deliver a product if they've been working in this space, and Zoe Kravitz does fantastically with this, honestly, okay? From the fact that, again, she co-wrote the script with writing partner E.T. Feigenbaum, and the cinematography being used throughout as well, too, from the casting of it, everything about this project really melds together the way that it should, and this is going to be one that I think a lot of folks are going to be going back to come the end of the year and the beginning of the year when they're making those best of lists. There's a lot in here that's similar to the films Don't Worry Darling and Shutter Island, which you might think is going to give away the twist of the film or give away what's really going on, and it really doesn't, honestly. It's just, it feels a lot like the 2 of those movies. Like in the case of Don't Worry Darling, you can absolutely feel that something's off and a select group of people know more than what they're actually letting on to. But the folks who aren't in the know are completely clueless and still just trying to engage in everything that's right in front of them. And again, I guess that is really Shutter Island as well, but it was hard to really shake thinking about those two as the movie kept going on, and in a really good way, because I do actually feel that both of those films are phenomenal. I think Don't Worry Darling got trashed far too much. That's actually a really good movie. But you're going to see a lot of similarities with those play out here in Blink Twice as well, and that includes a lot of the subject matter, because one of the things that's talked about a lot in both of those films as well is mental health, and that's a big plot point for some of the characters, including Naomi Ackie's Frida and Channing Tatum's Slater King, to where King talks about how he does therapy to help him with the problems that kind of ousted him from his company in the first place, and that it's really helping him deal with some of the issues that he went through as a child that he can't remember at all, but they must have been bad enough to explain why he doesn't remember those in the first place. Versus Frida, who knows she went through some bad shit in her childhood. She's very aware of that, and she doesn't like to dwell, she doesn't like to go back and think on it, because to her, what benefit could there really be to going back and remembering all the terrible things? And these are two very important standpoints that mean the world at the end of the movie. That is one of the greatest things about the themes here that they explore in this, is that they absolutely come back around to all the important words being said, which speaks to an amazingly well written script. You know, I saw a video hit online yesterday that had Trey Parker and Matt Stone from South Park talking about, like, when you're writing something, it shouldn't be you write that, okay, this happens and then this happened, and then that's terrible storytelling. And the idea is that you write, this happened, and because of that happening, this ends up happening. Like, that's supposed to be the goal, is because, like, you don't just keep doing list after list after list. It's cause and effect. By doing this, this results in this happening here. And you see that verbatim here in Blink Twice, that again, things get telegraphed in the best way, that if you're really paying attention, when they circle back around, it's the best feeling in the world. And the themes that Blink Twice really discuss, things like mental health and about whether it's a benefit or a detractor, things like sexual assault, gaslighting, abuse, power dynamics, misconceptions. These are all things that Blink Twice does an amazing job of exploring, especially when it comes to the idea of gaslighting and misconceptions in there, because quite a large chunk of this is characters basically being, not maybe directly being told, but they're being gaslit without that being straight up said to them. Like, the whole thing is like, oh, that's not what happened. Like, that is not being vocally said, but it's being done to a number of these characters, and it keeps on happening over and over and over. And that ties into the misconceptions, because as Frida and Lord, and I should have had it off the top of my head. As Frida and her friend Jess, played by Aaliyah Shawkat, end up on Slater King's island, there's clearly a little bit of animosity from the other women that are joining them to the two of them. And part of that absolutely are misconceptions, that we're told certain things about these characters, and we as audiences take that all in as face value, because we're supposed to trust what's being told to us. But as things continue to get crazier on this island, and we start seeing the different layers to a bunch of these different characters, we realize that we too have made the same misconceptions that these characters have been making as well. The character work in this is phenomenal, and especially the relationship that grows between Frida and Sarah, played by Adri Arjona, is some of the best character work I've been seeing all year, seeing the way that relationship continues to ebb and flow and change over the course of this movie. And man, if that doesn't hit on the supporting cast in this, that is phenomenal as well too. I already said Aaliyah Shawkat and Adri Arjona, but you also have Christian Slater, you have Simon Rex, you have Gina Davis in this, Kyle MacLachlan. The supporting cast in this is for Haley Joel Osment. This is an amazing supporting cast that they have in this, y'all. And every time somebody pops up, they add so much more to this movie. There's not anyone in this that ends up being wasted, honestly. And I love this random combination of actors over the last like 40 years at this point that just gel so well together. Nobody seems out of place at all. And on those themes, to kind of like jump back to that really quickly, you know, I saw a conversation specifically calling out Blink Twice as somebody saying it was like the scariest film of the year. And I feel that sets it up for failure because, y'all, we have to understand that as we get older and as more and more movies come out, there's not a direct correlation between horror films and actually being scary. Because I think that a lot of people, just as many would disagree, that these days, it's a lot of jump scares is really what's going to scare you the most in horror films, okay? Because that's literally their goal. There are certainly horror films out there that do a really great job of like scaring you throughout the entire film. It's a scary situation, scary monster, scary ghost, demon, whatever. And they actually do have the ability to make a scary film. But I've been honest about it. The last film that truly scared me in theaters that I saw was likely The Descent. That was the last one off the top of my head. I love horror films, but they don't really scare me that much these days. I get grossed out, I get creeped out in some cases, but just being actually scared isn't like something that happens too much. And I think a lot of you would say the same thing. That doesn't mean it's bad though. Do I want scary movies to scare me? Yes. That doesn't mean that they're not good. Blink Twice is one of the best horror films of the year. That doesn't mean that it actually scared me. But again, those themes, manipulation, gaslighting, abuse, sexual assault, all this kind of stuff is scary to deal with, but you're not getting the, you're scared. And that's something we absolutely should be understanding when we're talking about horror movies more and more and more, folks. The acting in this is off the charts. Naomi Ackie, who a lot of you might know from Rise of the Skywalker, or she played Whitney Houston in the Whitney Houston biopic that came out in the last few years as well too, is our leading lady and does amazing in the role. It's again fascinating because not only her, but the rest of the cast is actually playing basically two roles in this movie. Everybody has to play two different sides to their characters, which ties in a lot to the plot. And the entire cast does an amazing job with transforming from side A to side B when that time comes. And Naomi Ackie is definitely leading the pack of that because she's playing somebody who is a little bit more erratic and seems like they might be a little bit more off before things start really going down. And you know, us as the audience, we're trying to figure out, is it because like there is something actually wrong with her? Is it because she's realizing something's off before everybody else? And we just don't know until we get a little bit deeper into things. And that is phenomenal, the way that it's all set up, because you're going to be left guessing and you're going to change your answer multiple times throughout. Channing Tatum, though, coming off of Deadpool and Wolverine to where he got to play Gambit and complete like a live stream there, did amazing in that role. And there's all the memes out there. Oh, I'm about to make a name for myself. And it's kind of funny because the guy's been in Hollywood for decades at this point, and yet this still manages to be one of the most emotionally vulnerable roles that he has ever had the chance of playing. You know, if you watch the Magic Mike movies, he gets to do a lot more in those films than a lot of the other roles that he's gotten to do. And there's a few out there to where I do feel that he's given a little bit more meat on the bone to work with. The guy's funny. He's a great dancer. He's good in action as well too. But the guy actually really excels doing drama when he's given the chance to do that. Like, I think it's like The Vow. He's really good in that. And then I also bring up Haywire a lot. I know Gina Carano sucks, but I actually thought he was really good in Haywire, honestly. Like when Channing Tatum gets to do drama, he kills it. And this is honestly one of the most emotionally vulnerable roles he gets to do, especially in the last like 15 minutes of it. Again, I tell you, everybody gets a dual-sided role in this film, and seeing the other side that he plays, especially with all the information that gets set up earlier on, magnificent. I need awards nominations for Naomi Ackie and Channing Tatum coming out of this. And to be honest, it wouldn't shock me if we got some Golden Globe nominations out of this one. It really would not shock me from this, y'all. This was an amazing film. It's one of my favorites of the year. You need to go and catch this in theaters right now and support it, because movies like this, Strange Darling, Cuckoo, they need our support. Y'all show them some love in the box office so they can keep making original independent horror. That's going to do it for me tonight, folks. Hit that subscribe button. And again, tell me in the comment section of your top 5 horror of the year right now for a chance to win A is for Alien. Folks, stay tuned though, because I got reviews finally coming for Alien, Prometheus, more Mayfair Witches, more Interview with the Vampire, and much more on top of that. The spooky season starts in just a few days, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared. Boy here
is a big fan of Fangoria. So, if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there, get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022, and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription, or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/axdew. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/axdew, or use my specific code AXDEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years, and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T-Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.